Oh, hey! First of all, I just want to say a big thank you for supporting the Flourish Foundation by being part of this epic training. My name is Francis and I live in London, and I'm an executive region with this amazing company we call Arbonne. And I just think it's quite, poignant to be sat here at the beginning of the year, kind of setting new intentions, because let's face it, 2020 has been the weirdest, strangest, most extreme year I have ever experienced. There's probably a lot more words I could insert in there that maybe are not appropriate to describe. But you know what? It's a new year. I know things don't completely change at the stroke of midnight, but our intention can, and the way we react to things and what we put out there can change. And we're ultimately completely in control of what we want to create. And I think what a better way to start than listening to this training and taking bits that you can maybe take forward. And I think often when I've been listening to trainings, I'm like, I need to remember everything. But even if you just remember just an energy space from what I'm saying, and you take that energy space and you put it into your own words or own actions, and that for me is a great starting point. So if you're a type A person, you're like, quick, I need to get everything down in notes, just be calm and just like, take the feelings of what I'm saying. So although this year has been very, very difficult, I have felt like I've learned the most about myself. I felt like that I've really put myself out there more than ever before. I've done lots of personal development. I've done lots of soul searching. There's been challenges, of course, and how I reacted. And, I just feel like I've grown a lot. So I'm really, truly, truly grateful. But what I've really come to realize is that being yourself, being your true, authentic self is all you can be. And I love the saying, just be yourself because everyone else is taken. That really kind of rings true to me. And I just feel like also when you're approaching your Arbonne business, there are lots of systems in place and different things that we do, but the difference in your business is you. We are Arbonne consultants. We consult people on how we can help them. But you are that consultant. You're not a robot. That's why our business works so well, is because we are there. We are the difference makers. So just remember that when people are approaching you about Arbonne, yes, they're going to love the brand. They're going to love the fact, Arbonne's a great company, but they're really coming towards you. So, if you've been sending those messages that we're 40 years old, people are like, I don't care. I just want you to take an interest in me. And I want to learn about you. So I'm going to talk about, being yourself and really how you can do that in Arbonne. So to give it a bit of context, I'm going to talk about myself, the Francis that probably most of you don't know, a little bit about my kind of story with Arbonne, because it will make sense to kind of where I am today. So I have spent my whole life trying to fit in. I think it probably comes from growing up, having, feeling very, very different, and that teenage age where you just want to fit in. And this really carried forward really into the start of my Arbonne business. So when I actually started 2 weeks after my partner Stuart, and that was over it'll be 11 years in April. And you could say, why am I not a national vice president yet? And I don't regret anything. Like, my journey is my journey. I always say to people, if you're slow, if you're being really, really slow, don't worry, I was slow. I'm here to prove that, I'm below average. There are stories that can inspire you that way. And I think sometimes we live in this world of comparison. So if you're just looking at all these people thinking that they're like some superheroes, they're really not. They've probably had a much bigger backstory. And if you, use me as that person, as the backstory of someone that's, taken a long time and, had lots of limiting beliefs. So I used to care massively what people thought about me. And I think when I started Arbonne and I started doing personal development and actually doing the activity, I realized I cared so much. I would message people, and already in my head, they hated me, they hated Arbonne, and I would fabricate these things that just held me back from speaking to anyone. I remember there was a time, it was about a year into Stuart's business, that he was going region. And when you're going region, this is a big, big time in your business. And he turned to me and said, I remember exactly where I was. He turned to me and said, Francis, is there anyone you can speak to that we can, that I can, that can buy products this month to help me go region? And I just said, no. And I was so crippled with fear about speaking to people, what people might think, that I didn't do anything to help him. So what happened then for the next 3, 4, 5 years, I was a very, very supportive partner. I was turned up to Stuart to all the events and I did everything with him. I just didn't really build my business. So you know what, I think if you have partners in this business, really include them in what you're doing. The one thing we did do is we did continue to read the same books because we really believed that we needed to grow together. But what happened is that the choices that Stuart was able to make, because he was building his Arbonne business and being consistent and being himself, our choices began to differ. So particularly financially. And I love Stuart, he's an amazing guy, but I looked at him and think, like, I deserve that too, and I can have that too. And all he's done is just applied myself. And I think it was fear of missing out, which really then made me go, right, I need to change this. I can be successful in Arbonne too. And it was 5 years into my business. And at that time, no one was really using the nutrition. And social media wasn't quite, in the UK this is, and no one's really using the nutrition. And he came back from this course, I think it was by Dr. D. Martini or something, and it was all about values. And it was a questionnaire. He was like so excited. He came back from the course and had all these questions about working out what your values are. And he did the questions on me, so I filled it in. And mine were like fitness and theatre and all these things that I love to do. And then he looked at all my answers and he was like, isn't it so funny? None of yours are Arbonne. Mine are Arbonne, making lots of money, la, la, la. None of yours are Arbonne. Do you think you should be doing Arbonne? No wonder Arbonne's not working. I literally wanted to smack him with the phrase. I was like, no, I do want to do Arbonne. No, I should have put Arbonne. And anyway, that was something that frustrated me, and I let that thing go by. A couple of months later, I started connecting with people in the US that were running with nutrition, and I started implementing the things that they were doing, and my business just boomed. And it wasn't until a couple of months into this kind of momentum, I remembered this exercise that happened 6 months before, and I realized all I had done was aligned Arbonne with my highest values, which were fitness and nutrition and things like that. So my question to you is, are you aligning your business to someone else's values that you see on social or your upline, or are you aligning them to your values? We all have different interests. We're all different people. Like that, I love that quote, the chances of your two parents meeting and creating you are 1 in a billion. Like, you are unique. So you need to create your own unique space of Arbonne. Let's face it, the system stays the same of what we actually do, but you are different. You are the difference maker. So who are you? And this applies to your social media. Like, Stuart hates fitness. So why would he pretend to be some fitness queen posing with muscles like I like to do? Because he hates that. That's not him. And so are you trying to be an Arbonne influencer, or are you trying to be your influencer online and influencing your network based on your values and then aligning Arbonne with who you are? Because, if you're stepping away from who you truly are, it just actually creates tension. So I would just spend some time and think about, what are my values? What do I love? Is it family? Is it making money? Is it charity? Is it animals? Is it environment? Is it sustainability? Is it products? Find out what those things are, and then make your social and make everything you do in Arbonne about those values, because the business will just feel easy and start flowing. You could be connecting with other like-minded people like yourself, rather than trying to be an influencer that you're not. And that really comes, that really shines through on social media. I teach my team right now to actually step away from being too network marketing or too Arbonne on your feed and be more you. Like, first comes you, then comes who the roles you play, your family, and then comes Arbonne. Like, Arbonne's a big part of what I do, but it is not everything I do. So I would really look at your social right now and think, okay, what am I saying? Do I actually just look like the Arbonne website? Because if people wanted to go to find out about the products, just the products, they would go on the Arbonne website. So why should they be coming to you and your social? They should be connecting with you and then seeing about the products. I'm not saying don't talk about the products. Of course, talk about the products, but with you, like, you are that super source. And that will I believe will really change how things start to roll in your business, because people will be connecting with you first. And like I said at the beginning, like, we are consultants. We get to consult people on how to live healthier lives through our products, how to help with mindset, help them with Miracle Morning, and help them with the business. There's so many different avenues that you can connect people with. And what I would really kind of step away from is trying to be too generic or too kind of placed, maybe too kind of predictable from a network marketing perspective of, if someone maybe said to you, I've got no time, you're like, oh yes, great, copy, paste, I've got this message of what to say to people about no time. Whereas my intention is not that. My intention is, what would a friend say to this person? I want to be this person's friends. I want to understand their situation, and I want to get to know them and build that friendship and trust. And then, of course, talk about Arbonne and the business, rather than kind of just being kind of a generic person. And I just believe right now, there's a lot of noise going out there. And you don't need to be a loud person to be successful in Arbonne, but you need to be loud for who you are. That is the most important thing, because how are you going to stand out? How are you going to stand? They may have been approached by other people, other companies, other things, but what's going to stand out, and the difference is you, and you just being you. So I'm going to be annoying because I'm not going to say do this number of reels, it's just about you kind of really finding out what your values are, embracing who you are, and then being yourself online, and not trying to think too kind of linear about it. And you know what? Being yourself feels incredible. It feels incredible because that's who you are meant to be. So what I would love for you to do is kind of take the energy of everything I've been saying, and then think, how can I take this energy forward into 2021 and be more of myself online, authentically, with my personal development? How can I share all parts of my life? If you've got things that you've kind of struggled with, be honest with people, tell them, because they want to know, because they're like, you are like me. I feel like sometimes what we do in network marketing or Arbonne is we present our lives. And I've done this. We present this lives of, here's me with my fist stick and I'm living life and everything's perfect. When reality, right, most conversations I've had with most people this year is like, this year is terrible. There are other words I could put in there. This year is hard. People want to be, people want to laugh. People want to have joy. People want to be connected to. And I think if you can get that bit right, and be brave and put yourself out there. And for some of you, maybe you don't like speaking on camera. That was me. I didn't start out this person, but I also understood that doing these things will help grow my business. So if you can step out into who you truly are, the responses you get will be so different. So then when you're doing your activity and reaching and asking people to look at the business, they will be like, you know what, Francis is he's such a joy. I see him, he's so committed. He makes me smile. I love seeing him be healthy. You're an influencer from the things that we want people to be in Arbonne. They've seen it. They've seen you live that, and then they'll absolutely join you. So I hope something I've said to you today has inspired you to just go out and just break the rules a little bit about, and just be yourself this year. I'm so looking forward to see all your amazing reels, your Instagram TVs. If you're into cats, I want to see you talk about cats. If you're into knitting, I want to see you talk about knitting. If you're into tractors, I want to see you talking about tractors. Be you, because that's all there is to be. And everyone is just waiting for you to step into who you really are meant to be and freaking have as much fun as possible. Thank you so much for watching this training and supporting the amazing Flourish Foundation.